And now it's time for Cyberpunk Edgerunners. We got to do a second Cyberpunk type series. We did Blade Runner last week, and they were doing actual Cyberpunk this week. This one did it better.
Hey, you want to put your sentence in?
Was that your one sentence review?
It'll be close enough to it. Let me give you my one sentence. My one sentence is different, but that was pretty close to it. My one sentence review for Cyberpunk is David Martinez is a dumbass, but the world's cool.
Okay.
Eli, how about you, brother?
Pretty sure I hate the cyberpunk genre.
Wow.
Tristan?
This is one of the few shows that I would have been okay having more episodes and drawing it out.
Cool.
Okay.
It was quick. I will say that.
Let me tell you exactly my thoughts when I finished this series.
Yeah.
This is what I said. I'm like, okay, I have a prediction, and my prediction was Tristan's gonna like this the most. I'm gonna be in the middle. Eli's not gonna like this.
All right.
And you guys just confirmed it for me. Like I'm in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Eli, I knew you probably weren't gonna like it, and then I knew Tristan was gonna probably like it a lot because it is a love story.
Yeah.
Like it's a love story hidden beneath piles of cyberpunk, cool action and shit.
Yeah.
But at the base of this is a love story.
That's not why I liked it as much, but it was a good part of it.
That's not why I disliked it either, but...
Okay, let me tell you why I disliked it. I hated the first 2 or 3 episodes.
Really?
See, I'm opposite, bro.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because this was so cliche to start.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the clichéness, to be honest.
It was super bad. Like, oh, it's a poor kid from... Actually, I think I know exactly where it lost you, Eli. I'll guess in a second.
Okay.
But it was about this poor kid from the ghetto who's going to a nice school and a single mom who's struggling to pay for everything for him, and he doesn't fit in and he's getting bullied and da 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 da. I was like, oh my brother, dude. Like, this is the most generic shit I've ever seen. And then they had to make him Spanish. They're in a cyberpunk world, bro, and they made him a Latino. Like, what the fuck is that? That was so fucking, like, I forget what they call him, something from Santo Domingo or whatever. But I was like, bro, they made him Latino, and why is he a kid? I was like, you've got this advanced adult cyberpunk world, and this show's adult. This is not made for children.
No, absolutely not.
And you made him a teenager. I was like, why? As the series progressed, I was like, oh, you want him to be stupid, so he's got to be a kid, right? Like, you want him to make mistakes, so he has to be a kid, because he could justify it by saying, he's just a kid. Versus where if he was grown and he was making these same mistakes, I'd be like, why are you so dumb, stupid motherfucker? You know what I mean? But yeah, that first episode with the VR sex scene, the mom, the car flipping and dying. It was
I don't know
just
about the VR shit.
The VR shit was so weird and unnecessary.
Kind of bonkers.
3 times. 3 times, I think.
3 times.
And then the second episode was just him being like, I have to go and get revenge on my bully. And he gets the thing implanted. He goes, beats his ass. I was like, okay. And then he was the chosen one, you know, that kind of shit. So the beginning for me was like, whatever. But you guys liked it, so tell me why you liked it.
I'll go first so Tristan can elaborate because he has more. I liked the plot line with his mom. I thought it was cool. I liked their relationship, I guess. As far as, you know, he's fucking up, she's trying her best to, you know, provide. It is cliche, and I have seen it a million times, but I thought they did it pretty well. And then when she died, it didn't necessarily go downhill because I wasn't that invested in that. Seemingly they only had like an episode to do it, but I'll explain further instead of just my breakdown of these first couple episodes, I guess.
Tristan, why'd you like the intro?
Why did I like the intro? I liked the idea. I did like what was kind of... I was okay with the cliche as well, but I immediately got invested kind of in the world that they were going for with the tech and all that other stuff. Because I haven't done a whole lot with cyberpunk worlds, I guess, like Blade Runner. Yeah, the genre. Like, I haven't played the game. Blade Runner was one of the first times.
No one did.
Yeah, trust me.
Blade
shit
Runner
sold 3 copies.
was one of the first times I've seen some of that, besides maybe like Altered Carbon. But, I liked it a lot, and so I was invested pretty quickly. They also got me hooked with their music choices. I'm not going to lie. It was
good. It was very good.
When they were popping the music.
Names?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Yes.
Okay, well, that sucks, because you missed a great one. Because that's when I knew they were doing music names, because I could kind of tell. Because there was one that was Smooth Criminal early on, and this and that. And the episode, I think 6 was called All Eyes on Me.
Yeah.
And I did see that. Yeah, EYZ. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
I did see that.
At that point, I was like, yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah, I did see that.
I mean, they picked the amazing opening song with the Franz Ferdinand, This Fire. Because, dude, that was just a great way. I listen to that thing every episode. I rewound it sometimes to watch it again.
Yeah, the songs were good.
That shit was so amazing. There was one song that was very hyped up in the series that I did not like, though, which was episode 2, I believe, which is when he went to the moon with Lucy, and they were playing I Really Want to Stay at Your House.
I actually like that one.
Is super popular.
It is.
Everywhere on Spotify and the internet, and a bunch of weebs like it. And I was like, yeah, it's not my genre. It was too much going on in it. It was very EDM-y,
Okay.
And there was just too much going on in my ears. I was like, ugh. I think I haven't listened to music lately just because it's just been hurting my head. And so things that are super busy have been upsetting me.
So that's funny you say that, actually. Busy. So you talk about busy in the ears. The show was busy on my eyes. I think that's the main reason I disliked it. There was way too much going on for me artistically. I think the plot was pretty simple and easy to follow. I don't have any issues with that, but it was hard for me to really capture all of it just because, one, I didn't like the art style. I'm not saying it's bad. I didn't like it, but it's just, there was just so many different colors, and it was just put into a weird early 2000s Cartoon Network way for me that I didn't really like it.
I was gonna say, you know what the art style sort of reminded me of?
Is it The Great Pretender?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I got from this too.
Except this felt more. The art style felt sharper, I guess. Not better sharper, but the lines and the art was just tighter lines and drawing.
See,
I don't know.
My thing is though, The Great Pretender was very character based. There wasn't this tech world around them for me to have to pay attention to. It was very just storyline. And this one, I feel a lot of people's enjoyment, and Tristan's probably too, was the world. And so for me not having that and not enjoying the world at all, it didn't have that for me. But I don't really shit on the artwork usually, but I feel with a show like this where there's a lot going on and I actually have to keen in on the art style, it just is a little bit downplayed for me.
There were certain characters where I enjoyed their character design, and there was other ones where I fucking hated it. Post time skip David, I hated it.
Yeah,
yes.
Me too.
Maine, hated it.
Me
really?
too.
Yeah, anything where they start getting oversized and too mecha, I don't care. I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like the body mod shit. I really don't. David was fine before the time skip. I liked his look. He had a great look to me. The jacket, him being slender. If he had beefed up and just kept his human body but just hulked up a little bit, I was like, that's hard at first. And then they started doing the lines and the body mods and him doing the arms, shooting shit. That's where it lost me. And then also for some reason, his post time skip design, the traps were weird. They were gross looking.
They were. That was the one thing.
For some reason, I don't know who designed it or what, but the anatomy of his body with the trap specifically were kind of weird looking. I don't know. It just threw me off. But
no,
especially his final Pokemon evolution chain.
Oh god, dude!
Really hated that.
Yeah, me too.
Where it was just his body and the robot,
the other one,
his torso in the robot suit.
Come on, man. Slow down now. Come on, man. You're giving away too much money. But him and the other guy, I did not like the way their character designs at all.
All right.
As far as the worlds, though, I think I prefer the Blade Runner world because those are more human-looking motherfuckers versus this where they're aliens.
Yeah, okay.
They're machines and aliens.
So this partially plays into my little one-sentence review earlier, and it's that I wanted it expanded because before the time skip, the show was very good to me. I was enjoying it a lot. I thought it was awesome. Post time skip, everything just happened kind of like that, and I didn't enjoy it. Like, it was cool concepts, and I liked what they kind of were doing, but I think that they just rushed everything, and I would have loved for it to be played out a little more. And I wanted more. I wanted a little more behind why David went and hulked out. I mean, that was kind of obvious, but like I wanted sort of the process, because I like the idea, and this is how I wrote it down, was flying too close to the sun. Because it's obviously not the first time I've seen something like this, or probably that any of us have seen a concept like this in a show or a movie or whatever. But I like seeing how they get to the point, like how they keep flying closer to the sun. And from the perspective of this show, we went from he was okay, kind of just getting into it, to he's about to go hug it, and he's about to blow up right on the spot, basically. That's what the time skip did, and that's why I wanted it to be more drawn out.
All right, before I expound on that, Eli, you're going to say something, and then you kind of stop.
I don't remember exactly what I was going to say, but you can expand on it, because I'm going to change the subject. So
okay, but the reason they did that was because of Maine. Like, it was very obvious that he looked up to Maine a lot,
right?
And the two characters he looked up to. I watched this very early on in the week, and I finished it very fast. And I'm thankful, because if you'd got me right after I finished this, I would not have been as high on the show. I would have been very mad and give it a very low score. I finished this on Tuesday. For people who don't know, yeah, and we're recording on Sunday right now. So I had about a week to sit with this already, right? I think you guys, I don't want to say you will, because I don't fucking know, like, I'm not you, but I think the further away you get from having watched the show, you'll start to like, okay, that was good, okay, that was cool, you know, that kind of shit, because that's what I started doing.
Yeah.
Because I started to break down why he was doing shit. Basically, David's whole thing was people kept telling him he was special and different, and he was destined for something. And so his desire to fulfill that became greater than his desire to live. And so he kept trying to make himself a legend for his mother, who said that he was chosen, he was great, he had the ability to do something good. And for Maine, who kept saying that. And to him, the Sandevistan was what gave him power, and that he has, everyone keeps saying, you have this superhuman ability to be able to withstand Chrome, you know? So then he just started adding shit, especially after Maine went psycho, and now he's going to carry on his legacy. Especially when he told Maine, I'm waiting for those, because he wanted Maine's arms, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I get that, and that very much, me having the time to sit with it made me understand the ending more and be cool with the ending. So that might be why you guys are still hot on the ending and being like, it's kind of whatever, because I don't know when you guys finished this show.
Yesterday.
I think I finished it on like Thursday.
I'm gonna just change the subject for
That's fine.
My own agenda. All right, so back to the Cyberpunk hating aspect, I guess. So I didn't like the world in this, right? I didn't like the world last week. I've just realized I've never been interested in buying the Cyberpunk video game when people were hyping it up, and I didn't really ever like it. I've kind of realized that either I love the genre or I just don't like it at all, and it turns me off to the whatever the plot line's about. Because some of these may be examples of Cyberpunk to some people. It's a very like opinionated like genre. I feel like you could classify a lot of things, like Cowboy Bebop. A lot of people classify it as one. A lot of people classify it as something else. Arcane is another one. Like, is that Cyberpunk? I don't.
That's more steampunky.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Something like that. Matrix, is that Cyberpunk?
I would say yeah.
I would say so too.
Especially the later ones.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's why I didn't like those. So I have a problem. Maybe it's because I have, a phone that's fucking 6 years old to this point. With new technology. I can't really wrap my head around it. Peripheral is another example. Like that was all tech based. I'm not a huge tech guy. Like, I don't really like that kind of stuff. I can't really picture it until it's in our world, I guess. So when you're going, 50 years down the line at some points and like, here's a bunch of just tech shit. Like, there's a reason I don't want to go to Japan, bro. Like, there's just screens everywhere, dude. Like, I don't know. That's just not my style, and I think that's what turns me off to some points.
That's crazy, though, because you're the Star Wars guy.
It is true, yeah. I don't know if I'd consider that cyberpunk, though. But
that's heavily tech-based.
It is. Kind of.
The ships, the weapons,
yeah,
the armor.
That's fair.
Like, to me, like, I like that kind of newer age shit, but I think it's also because they focus too much on it. And they don't build the world. The last two things we watched of that didn't care about the world. They cared more about the characters. Like, Blade Runner was only 3 hours, which I say only, but it's a movie. So you can't expand upon the world. This was fucking... this was about the length of Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Like, this was 10/20s, so that's 200 minutes. That's about 3 and some change hours, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, it didn't have much time to build the world because it was trying to tell a story and build the world at the same time. I would like to see Cyberpunk in like a 2 or 3 season show. Because if you think about it, something like Dark initially didn't hit us, right? And it's because they didn't build everything and flesh everything out in one season. So it would have been like whatever. And I feel like that show had a great balance of world building and character building. So I would like to see these shows get expanded universes so they can build the world and expand the characters.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I said I wanted it to be played out longer, because I just feel as if we could have gotten more out of this.
Well, let me tell you why. Our good friend spoiled this for me on accident.
That's tough.
Our good friend, he's been on the podcast. His name's Ian. He has played Cyberpunk and watched this before we watched this. Okay. He made the tiniest comment to me, and I fucking connected the dots. Bad.
Oh, no.
Okay. He was like, yeah, dude, there's like there's references to the character in Cyberpunk. I was like, oh, really? That's cool as shit. He's like, yeah, there's a bar and there's a drink named after him. It's called the David Martinez drink. I was like, oh, that's what's up, you know? And I was like, that's cool. I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, oh, maybe he's such a legend in that world now that, people know about his name and shit like that. Maybe he shows up in the game because I haven't played the game.
Right.
And then in the show, I forgot what fucking character says it. I think it was episode 3. Let me see if it's in my notes real quick. I don't think it is, but someone said something along the lines of, legends in this city aren't made until they die. And then I said, fuck. Not making it out of this season.
That's funny.
Yeah, and like that little one sentence thing he told me and that just combined, I was like, fuck. I was just like, I'm just too observant.
And he didn't mean to either. That's what really sucks.
No, sometimes he does do it on accident bad, like he gives you just straight up spoilers.
Yep.
But this time he didn't mean to, and it was an accident. But yeah, no. So I mean, I found out he was gonna die. I figured that out very early on in the show. I want to say 3 or 4. So the rest of the way, I was like, how are they gonna get there? And we've kind of haven't covered it, but it was basically his relationship with Lucy led to his downfall. I did not like the relationship for a lot of
What?
Yeah, no.
Because she's a bitch.
I did not like Lucy at all.
I was cool with Lucy until she fucking set him up.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Bro,
dude,
she played him.
on.
She was like, oh yeah, come back to my crib. Let's hang out. Da, 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 da. He comes out of the VR and he's got a motherfucking big ass black dude head dangling him like Suge Knight. Like he was Vanilla Ice. He Suge, man. He said, give me my damn San Devastate.
That's wild.
And I'm like, bro, she's pinched it. She got him pinched. She did. Like if David wasn't lucky enough to where his mom was the one selling the deal. By the way, that was cool as shit when he was like, who sold you this shit? And he was like, whatever Martinez, it was his mom. I was like, bro, his mom was the G. She was a G. She was selling this dude fucking illegal shit. And I was like, bro, if it wasn't for him being her kid and him convincing him to let him go, he would have died. He would have died.
And he wouldn't have had a drink named after him.
No, it would have just been some dude. He was like, here lies the splatter of David.
Here lies David. We don't have a last name.
No, yeah. And so then she tried to be like, well, people gotta eat. I'm like, oh my god, she did not just try to like sell it off and shit. And she knew what she was doing. She was toying with him. Yeah. But then she was like, I wasn't toying with you. You're the only person I did tell about the moon. I'm like, bitch, I'll kill you. Now,
I didn't like her.
I will say post time skip, I was into it.
What?
That's when they got me.
I mean, I agree. I was in from the start.
Eli, no. Get out of this conversation for a second. I was in
from the start.
No, wait. Get out of the conversation for like 35 seconds. Eli, what show did we watch that Tristan hasn't watched?
Which one?
The one.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Sword Art Online. Okay.
Yeah.
What did I say I like about fucking that show? I love
the only
when
thing.
two characters play house with each other.
Yeah.
What were David and Lucy doing?
Playing house, that's for sure.
I liked it. So I got invested.
Until... Were you invested after that?
Yeah, once they started living together and they were like, he kept coming home and he was all fucked up and he was twitching and she'd be like, David, are you okay? He's like, I was like, oh, that's cute. She cares about him.
Okay, but were you invested later, is what I'm saying.
How much later?
Like last episode later.
We'll have to get more specific. We'll get there when we get there. I'll have to get more specific with me because I know what you mean by that. But I did like all that. I liked him spazzing and having the Chrome issues. What I didn't like was he was pissing me off because I was like, why did you do this when Main just went cyber psycho and you know he went psycho because he kept doing this shit that you're doing right now? That's what pissed me off.
No, it's because it's what you were talking about earlier. It's because he thought he was special.
And that's why I said at the time I was really mad about it.
That's fair.
And that's why I've come to grips with it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Now just whatever. Before I was angry. Right? But Lucy, I liked her post-time skip design. I don't know why they changed it. She had like the biggest change without like physically changing. Like her body was the same, but they like drew her differently post-time skip. Again, you know what's fucked up too? The time skip was only a couple months.
Yeah.
Was it?
Like, yes, I looked it up because I was like, man, David's huge. All these characters kind of changed. How long has it been? Oh, it's been a couple months. Oh.
Yeah.
Because they kept talking about when Maine died, and it wasn't that long ago.
I know. That's what cued me in. I'm like, dude, like, there's no way this hasn't been a couple years at this point. The dude's huge now. And then, like I said, it fucking cued into that. I was like, well, it couldn't have been that long ago. That's funny. It was only a couple months, though.
Yeah, I was like, bro, that's stupid. That's fucking dumb. But the last 6 episodes, or like last 4, were kind of like a blur, except for like the very ending.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
It just like that's the one thing I didn't appreciate about it is they just smushed everything together, but I wanted more.
They were so close to making David really fucking cool with the no t-shirt, the chain on, the jacket, but then they just had to make him a cyborg. Like if they just would have made him a bigger person with some muscle on him, he would have been the coolest son of a bitch ever.
With like a little bit of the chrome still, like a little bit here and there.
The Sandevis thing was fine by itself. It was so cool.
Oh yeah, the Sandevis thing was crazy.
The Sandevis? What the hell?
You
watches the Japanese, huh?
Bro, it's an anime. I watched the original.
Bro,
guess what you missed out on?
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Wait. No, okay. I'm not gonna lie. Because I watched a few minutes in the dub. Who was he playing?
He was playing
Faraday.
Faraday, yeah.
No.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome.
Faraday showed up and he talked, and I was like, I know that voice. Who is that?
Yeah, me too.
And I had to look at it. I was like, Giancarlo, I don't know what's up with him. I don't know if he's broke or
he just ought to be, bro.
Because he's in everything. He was in Far Cry. He was in The Boys. Now he's doing anime. He's doing video games. And anime.
Okay,
and then Better Call Saul. What's up, John? Are you got AIDS or something? You dying soon?
We'll pay you a little bit to come on here.
Well, but hey, look, man, the dub, I watched it for a few minutes and I thought it was actually a pretty decent dub.
It was.
From what I was hearing. I just didn't want to do it at the time because I had started in the sub and then it just threw me off once I went to the dub. So if I was going to watch the dub, I'd have to rewatch it from the start, which I wouldn't necessarily mind doing because it sounded pretty good. I liked Maine, which was one thing that was important.
Maine was fucking Maine's what every fucking anime does with a black person. They just make him stereotypical. All right, let's go, motherfucker. Like that was Maine.
Pretty true. Pretty true.
Entire fucking anime, man. I guess they just make a double dude who's just black.
I'm getting pretty tired of this shit.
I know, like. Why can't you make Piccolo? Piccolo's black. He's just a normal dude.
Hey, here's the other thing. I found it. Oh, balls. I feel like I just lost my train. Oh, that's what it was. I feel like this didn't have to be like an anime. If you know what I mean. Like it could have just been regular animated TV, but they they made it into kind of an anime, and I'm like, I'm okay with it.
What do you mean by that? Because anime, all that means is that it was made in Japan.
Japanese cartoons, yeah.
So they're, of course, they're gonna add anime tropes to it because it was made in Japan.
Tropes, yeah, exactly. That's where I was going with that.
Just like how Avatar has American cartoon tropes in it because it's American.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I kind of get what you're saying, but I mean, it was made by a Japanese studio. It was made by Studio Trigger. Like,
we're just gonna cut that.
You just fucked up the entirely right there.
Yeah. Entirely. Completely.
All right, bro, I got you.
My brain went kaput, like right in the middle. Yeah, see, when I lost my train of thought, that was my brain trying to tell me not to do that.
You messing with the Chrome too much.
But I did it anyway.
This dude's going cyber psycho.
This dude's super cyber psycho.
So, you know what's fucked up is that this show actually reminds me of 3 different shows combined into one.
No.
Bro, what?
But you guys, I don't think you guys have seen any. Well, no, I know you guys haven't seen any of these. So at first, the show reminded me of Ghost in the Shell.
Okay, but I at least know what that is.
I do too.
I think you'll like Ghost in the Shell, Eli.
Okay.
Ghost in the Shell is cyberpunk-y, but it's very grounded versus this show. So at first, it reminded me of that because in Ghost in the Shell, they got people like this, where like they're kind of. There's some guys who are half cyborg, some dudes who are just straight up human, and there's a whole plotline, it's a lot of action, spy kind of stuff. It's great. I love Ghost in the Shell.
Didn't they make a movie out of that too?
With Scarlett Johansson, we don't talk about it.
That's who that was. Okay.
Yeah, we don't, whitewashed. We don't talk about it. I don't blame Scarlett though. It wasn't her fault. She just wanted to check. Marvel wasn't giving her one until Black Widow movie. It reminded me of that, and then it gave me Gungrave. But I know for a fact none of you guys have seen Gungrave.
Nope.
Because Gungrave is very much built upon like this dude who's just like a fucking walking zombie who just kills everyone basically because his friend betrayed him. And it gave me that reminded me of the Cyber Psychos, right? And then it reminded me of one more show, which is Tenjo Tenge, which I know for a fact no one of you even heard of that show. Nah. It's probably specific for that show. So in that show, there's a character, his name's Mitsuomi, and he ends up trading in. He basically does what David does. He trades in his life basically for power. It's just so he can get more juice to defend people. But people think he's evil. That's the only difference, right? Oops.
That was you.
Can't talk about that, but that's pretty fucking insane what just happened.
If it's what I think it is.
Stop. Leave it alone.
We're going to talk about it later.
Yeah, we will. So basically, in that, Mitsuomi trades in his life force for power to become stronger and everything like that. And then people are worried about him because they know he's dying because of what he did to get the power. Like how Lucy was worried about David because David traded his life to get power. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, never mind. Continue.
No, continue. Ask.
No, you go for it, bro.
No, bro, I want to hear that.
Okay, if you actually want to hear this shit. So you're saying he's traded in the power like Kyrie just got traded in the power.
You stupid bitch.
You're the worst. Why would you do that?
God damn it, dude.
Because I'm a dick.
Oh, why would you
All right, continue. That? Sorry, bro.
I said shut the fuck up and you couldn't do it.
Sorry, bro.
Even I didn't ruin it.
I did.
God damn it. You threw me off.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. That's why I was going to let you go, bro.
But basically, everything the show did, I've seen other shows do, and I liked it better in those other shows.
Oh.
And so that's what threw me off heavily with this entire series. Was like, I've seen this done better, and I liked it better.
See, now, that's the worst, honestly.
Now, I want you guys to tell me why you hated the back end so much, because, like, I didn't think it was that bad.
Okay, I didn't dislike it. Eli, go ahead. Though.
Let me rephrase. I didn't hate it. We talked about it being a blur and going super fast and my brain not being able to catch up. I felt like that and the whole like, oh, we got to rescue the abduction, that plot line wasn't necessarily my favorite. And that's why I asked if you still liked her character later, is because me personally, I did not like that plot line or her part in it.
They really sped through what she was doing and why. But I kind of understood that she was doing the stuff that she told David about to stop them, and they were very interested in getting him. So she was trying to erase all the data on David, basically, to keep them away from him, but it didn't work because they still got to him.
Right.
And I did like her character still at the end. The only person I didn't like was David. Like, David just kept fucking up, and it was pissing me off. And I'm like, he was super strong as is. He could have very easily handled everyone without all the shit he did to himself.
That's what I think.
Instead, he's got to make his entire friends and family and girlfriend watch him die. You know? Like, he hasn't got family, but those people were his family at the end. So, I really thought, to be honest with you, I don't think, fuck, I gotta word this carefully. The other girl, the tiny one that liked
Rebecca?
Yes.
Yeah, I really didn't like her.
I thought she should have been with him. David
No.
should have been with her instead of Lucy, because at least she was nice to David and she actually liked him, where Lucy was doing the "I don't like you, I'm cold" shit.
For like an episode
Rebecca,
or two.
Dude,
Huh?
Rebecca gave me the whole like little like sister vibe.
Let me
And
tell you
that's why-
exactly what it's called.
No.
It's called a lolly,
Yeah.
and that's
No,
why
I
I
know.
didn't like it.
Yeah. That's why I didn't like that. Is
She
because
could have been human sized and done everything
Oh.
instead of being lolly.
yeah. Yeah, I didn't like it.
But that's
That's
an anime
why.
trope, so
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Sickos.
Here's my thing with the back half. I didn't dislike it. I'm only mad that they made it go so fast. Like I said, I wanted them to play out how David just got too far over the edge. Like
I didn't want a time skip then.
Well, no. Even from the time skip, like I didn't mind the time skip in the end.
No, I'm saying if you wanted to see the time skip, like everything that happened.
Not even necessarily because
What you're describing is you want to see the time skip.
No, I wanted to see more of it playing out from where we end up with the time skip, right? I wanted to see it extended, more played out from there to the end. But instead,
So would you have wanted David to like lose a fight and like feel like he has to go get more chrome versus him just getting more chromed up?
I mean, I would have a little bit of wanted. Like, I'm not mad that we suddenly saw him super chromed up because I understood it. Like, normally my problem with time skips is I miss what I'm supposed to understand. But with this one, like, I totally got what was going on. I understood the time skip. Like, everything made sense to me. And so I wasn't upset. I think it would have been cool to have a little bit of him feeling the need to get more and more, you know? But like you were talking about earlier, he was told he was special and that he could handle all this chrome. And so he just did it, which I get. But the parts of him losing his mind, going crazy, that's what I wanted to see played out more. And instead, he went from, like, I'm good at the beginning of where we were after the time skip to just a little bit later, done. Like, they rushed that part to me. So I wanted to see that part more played out. I wanted to see more emotional tether with him, even with Lucy a little bit. Because, again, I liked the relationship between him and Lucy. That did get stronger in the second half in some aspects. There were other parts that I liked better about it in the first half, though.
Let me ask you something. The rumor on the street is this series is going to be an anthology series. Do you want that, or do you want more of these characters? But we're not getting more because we saw what happened in that last episode. But we're about to get into that. But do you want the anthology, or do you just want it to like fuck off now? Because all the characters are dead.
I won't lie. You got to remind me what an
It
anthology
means it's
is.
a
like a
different group of
collection.
characters every
Yeah.
season,
It's like a collection of stories, basically.
but based on the same world.
Yes.
No. I don't need any more.
you wanted this or nothing.
Yeah, I like these characters, but now that you've gotten rid of these characters, I don't need different. Look, they tried to give us different characters, right? They gave us, who was it? I'm pretty sure it was this dude Julio. Yeah, this dude Julio in episode 7 comes in.
They did
and
not
just
try to give us
dies.
more characters, bro. Julio was a fodder.
I know that, but come on now. Come on. That's why I don't need to see anybody else.
So, last episode, did you guys like
You
Adam's...
didn't ask my answer.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't know the
You
answer.
didn't ask, bro.
I don't need to. I don't. It's a no.
I'm just kidding.
But did you guys like Adam Smasher?
Yes, but right. Yes, but they hinted at him earlier in the series.
Yes, they did.
Well, yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. And I didn't exactly expect him to come back. I didn't predict that he was going to appear. So I was shocked by that part. But then they didn't explain anything. And as much as it is used in these situations, I like when they go back and explain why he's still here. My brain is too tiny.
They told you. He's just the god of this shit. Like,
but why though? Like,
but we didn't get the situation.
He wasn't earlier. I feel like
Smasher.
Yeah,
they said that he's the only motherfucker who can like keep getting implants and not go crazy.
I guess that's.
And they said he's like the baddest motherfucker, and people don't know if he's real or not. They're like, yeah, he's just a rumor.
Word.
I thought they said he died though.
No, they said he's a rumor. Like they don't know if he's real or not.
Interesting.
Because that's what the doctor dude told him when he was in the office getting the shit implanted.
I missed that part.
Yeah, I bet you did, buddy.
I did. I missed a lot of parts.
Yeah, I bet you did.
No, I'm just kidding.
But once he put on that stupid cyber skeleton, I was out of it. I hated it.
you got beef with the cyber skeleton.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm kind of with you there.
I was like, bro, I don't give a fuck. This dude's a transformer. I don't care.
He was kind of whack for how much they built him up.
Who? Adam Smasher?
Yeah.
Bro, he killed everyone.
Okay. Well.
No, go
easily.
Ahead.
Sorry.
It wasn't even hard.
Here's my thing about that. I actually appreciated that in a sense because it wasn't they didn't go cliche with that part where the good guys win in the end. Nah. They were idiots. They died because of it. End of story. That was all we got.
Yeah, so Adam Smasher's actually from the game. Once I found that out, I kind of got pissed. Because, like, kill him in the game. So...
Oh, wow.
Of course he was going to fucking die. Dude, you're not going to play the fucking...
You're
Go fuck yourself.
I will.
But I was after I heard that, I was like, bro, now everyone knew he was going to die then? So I was like, whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of whack.
Fuck this. I don't care. David went out like a bitch. Fucking... Rebecca got fucking Yokozuna ass dropped. She was just chilling. She got squished like a marshmallow.
No, don't say. I liked Rebecca too. Like,
the only one who made it out was
character.
fucking the bitch Lucy.
Falco. Didn't Falco make it out?
Who's that?
Captain the driver, bro.
Falcon Punch, bro?
Oh, the driver. Yeah, he didn't do anything. He just said, I'm the driver.
The baby driver.
But yeah, and the only one who got away was Lucy, and then she went to the moon, like they said. Which, by the way, fucking, I'm about to get pissed. They said the ticket to the moon was 250 G's. David had like 20 billion times that already. Why did he not just take her to the moon? The job before the last job, he got like 6 million or something stupid.
I heard the studio, or maybe it's just the writers of this in particular, has a fetish with space. I don't know if that's true or not for the people that have seen multiple things, but I guess
Studio
like
Trigger.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like I said, I don't know if it's Studio Trigger. I just saw something very briefly about this, but I don't know if it's the writers or the studio in general. But somebody has a fetish with trying to insert space into literally every single show that doesn't need space in it.
It might be Trigger, because I feel like they've done shows with space, but I don't know off the top of my head what they've done. But man, the show wrapped up kind of... The last episode was boo-boo. I got invested in the shit post-time skip because, they're playing house together. The show was good. I like the world, actually, even though Eli doesn't.
I like this world.
I love the aesthetic, really, but I don't like the actual character designs, that makes sense. I like the concepts. Except for Chrome. I hate Chrome. Like I admitted. So, I would like to see more, but they gotta do something, how you say, better.
Different.
Or better. That'd be good, too.
Or that one.
Yeah. Closing thoughts before scores?
Nah.
Well, closing thoughts? You guys, I don't know if you guys are going to be mad at me or not after this.
So
is
go.
Is that your thought?
Is that the
no,
thought?
that was my closing thought, yeah.
Oh, okay. What?
Why would
Dude did a run-on sentence and then
No,
quit halfway through.
Just you know what? I'll go ahead and start with the
score?
scores. I'll start with the score.
You're going to start the score because you're going to be the highest.
Yeah, probably. Actually, no. I know I am. We all know I am. I'm going with an 8 on this one.
Okay, that's not as high as I thought you were going. I thought you were going to say 9. I was going to fight you.
I thought you were about to say 9 too.
No. So here's the thing.
Ready.
Here's the thing. Before the time skip, this show was at a 9 for me, easily. Personally, I thought David was a good character, and I was okay with the mistakes he was making because they designed him that way on purpose. And I was like, this is cool. I get it. This is one of the first times in a while that something we've watched has made sense to me, and I've understood what they're trying to do, and it made me so happy. But I really enjoyed it. And then post time skip, some stuff, just different things brought it down between David not being as good all of a sudden and them kind of, in my opinion, rushing the story. So that's what brought it down to an 8 for me.
Our scores aren't too far apart.
Do you want me to go, or do you want to go?
I'll go highest lowest, but
all right,
our scores aren't that far apart. I give it a 7.5.
Okay, that's not bad.
Because I thought the show was very good, executed well. I just didn't like the actual writing decisions. So it was still fun though, and it was very short, so I can't get mad. It's not like I didn't get upset about anything like that. It wasn't 27 episodes of bullshit.
Yeah.
It was like 6 good episodes and 4 bad ones. So that's fine with me.
Fair.
So yeah, I like I said, I've hated on the world and the characters and stuff enough. This actually was not a bad show. Like it was a good show. It was an okay show. I just couldn't get into it because of the other factors. So for that, I'm going to give it a 5.5. I think it was above average, but not good for me.
That's good. Now I thought you were gonna hit like a 4.
Nah.
I really thought I was feeling like
I thought it might have been sub. I also thought it might have been sub 5
because I was like, the way you're talking, this is not average, but it is what it is.